right. Let me just get everybody in here. Today's March 18th, right? Yeah. Perfect. Just gonna wait a little bit here for everyone to tune in. And then we can get started. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, David. Good morning, Good morning, Edgar, Robert, Franco. Let's go. Good morning, early birds. 8:30 in the morning, man. Love it, love it. Let's wait a little bit to get everybody in here. Doing this on the laptop, so the stream should be smooth. I know we get a couple of issues on my desktop when I stream, but on the laptop it seems that everything is fine here. So let's see. There's no lag as of right now. Kenzie, good morning. Dodger, good morning. Nick, good morning. Nick, first time watcher. Welcome, my man. Just gonna wait 5 minutes before everybody gets here. I think a lot of people are sleeping in today. 5:30 in the West Coast. Boom. You guys are the true legends, man. Here I am waking up at like 7 in the morning thinking it's too early. And you guys are up at like 5. Few more minutes and we'll get going here. We'll start at 8:35. It's 8:33 right now, and we'll get going at 8:35. Big bounce yesterday at 2 p.m. Yeah. So when they announced those unchanged rates through 2023, the market really liked it, and we kind of pushed up. However, just pulling back a little bit here on that 10-year yield thing, man. Let's see. Let's go, Slackers. Boss is live. All right, we got a few people waking up here. Just one more minute and we'll get going. If you guys are waiting before we get started, there's about 50 of you in here. Go ahead and smash that like button. Every single one of you should smash that like button because it's early and we need love. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Rav. Good morning, Seda. Good morning, Robert. Alexandra. Good morning. Sino. Oh, snap. Oh, there goes Sino. What happened here? NFT Center Mines. Shit. There goes Sino. That's cool. Alright, anyways, doesn't matter. Alright guys, so let's talk about what's going on. It's 8:35. We're gonna get started right now. So obviously the SPY chart I know it's starting to look a little messy. I'll fix that in the days to come. However, levels are still very valid. All right, we're gonna get right to the 4-hour chart here. So this 394.17 has shown to be pretty good strength in the market. Yesterday it kind of held that level. We saw that significant bounce above it, and then here we are again today. We're sitting at the 394 level. All right, if we lose that, it's very clear that our next area of support is going to be 392.81. As you can see, we have support here, 1, 2, 3 touches. So that 392 is going to be our next area of support, and then possibly down here at around 393, 389.50. Okay, going into the daily time frame, if we zoom in here, we can see a little bit better of what's going on. So again, 392 is valid, and this high right here would probably be our next area of support on the downside. Okay, so the 390 area. We do have intraday pivots that are short-term support and resistance lines that we'll monitor. But currently, as of right now, we're kind of bouncing off of that 394. You can see we came down to it, we hit it, and we're currently bouncing right now. And that is that. I know a lot of these NFT names are hot, so let's address one or two of them. TCAT still running like crazy. The only trade that I saw in this ticker was right here, guys, and I'll show you exactly what I saw. However, I hesitated a little bit, didn't take the trade. But anyways, this is what you guys need to look for. When you have setups like this at previous support levels, flags forming, and then, this perfect flag right here broke out. You could have got right here at 26, stops at around 24.70, and it gave you a run to 29. Okay, that was the only thing I see on that. However, Sino is now running as well. Came out with some news literally as soon as we went live at 8:30. So that is why Sino is popping. So TCAT, I think OCG is another name that runs alongside these. And as you can see, the leader is now TCAT. And right here, when we had that flag formation on TCAT, when that broke out, this kind of broke out with it as well here, right? So that is that. So they kind of move in waves when you have one leader, and that leader seems to be TCAT. When that's kind of leading the way, everything else is going to kind of follow along with it. All right, so there's a bunch of them that you guys can follow: TCAT, Sino, I think OCG. There's another one named YVR, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys can kind of follow those along. Again, don't marry these things. They got to be quick in and out. If you're going to be marrying them, you need to use smaller size. All right, that's for that. Now, getting back to the SPY and what it's actually doing, kind of got sidetracked there when someone asked me about TCAT. So ideally, we want this 394 level to hold. Okay, what does this mean for the tech stocks? Like I said before, guys, a lot of these tech names are they're struggling right now. Okay, every time the yield pushes up, the tech names come down. So we had Tesla yesterday push up to 703, and here we are again at 680. Okay, so every time we show a little bit of weakness, these things come down a lot heavier, right? So we are now again under that 683 mark, an area where Tesla has struggled to get above. And every time it comes close to this thing, it sees some rejection. So unless, tech stocks really start rebounding here, I think we're going to kind of roll over, just simply roll over. Unless we really need to get back above that 720, 715 area for Tesla to try to make a run towards that 50 moving average. If it doesn't, currently sitting at 683, it can roll over and come back and test the 600 area. All right, so you got to keep your eyes on big names like Apple, the ones that have severe strength in the market, right? So if you're looking at the SPY or the NASDAQ, Apple is a heavy influencer in those sectors. So you got to make sure, you got to keep Apple on watch, see what Apple's doing. Apple closed at 124. It's now sitting at 122.90. Okay, so we're sitting at around right here. Can it roll over and test that 200 moving average? Yes, it definitely can. So we have to look for that. We have to look for weakness in multiple stocks across the board to see how we're going to do in a certain sector. Okay, so Apple is definitely one of them that you want to keep an eye on. Another one that you know, a lot of people are watching as well. Again, Neo, same thing with Neo. Anything really tech related, look how similar this chart looks to the Tesla chart, right? So that's Neo right there. And then look at the Tesla chart. So you can see it's very clear that they're all very similar, right? Yes, they're also in the same sector. However, even if we pull up Roku's going to have a similar chart, right? You see that rounding and then that big green day we had yesterday because of the Powell news and whatnot. However, it seems that the market gave up most of the gains that it had in regards to the Powell's unchanged rates, right? Let's look at Netflix. Again, same thing. We have that kind of rounding thing happening here. So unless we really reclaim that 530, we might roll over again, right, guys? So keep that into consideration. I don't think tech stocks are out of the woods just yet, but that's why we diversify and we go into other stocks, right? Look at airlines, for example. Let's see how well airlines did. 544. They closed at 544, and they're still sitting at around 530, right? So they're showing strength. This is what you guys want to look for. Stocks that show strength when other sectors are showing weakness. Let's see here. Just looking at some of the messages. Good morning, morning. You sound like you're feeling better. Yes, I am feeling a lot better. Hopefully it just keeps getting better from here on out. What are we thinking about REI after earnings? REI after earnings. I cut REI when it hit that $3 area. Some people continue to hold. The ER was okay. I don't think it was anything that triggered significant selling pressure or significant buying pressure. So it's just doing its thing. It's in the energy sector. It's moving around. Got a little bit extended from the 20 moving average, so we might pull back a little bit around that 280 before continuing higher. But it is a name that's been in the energy sector, that's been strong, that's been showing strength. If you do want to continue to hold it, you might get that retest of 330, but it really depends on when you entered the stock and when you plan on getting out. But we could really easily pull back. I mean, we did slightly pull back yesterday to the 630, but we could come back a little bit more and kind of kiss that 20 moving average. Or SPY, that's cool. TCAT or other NFT? Or SPY, not really following there. I don't see the like button on my screen. The like button is definitely there. It's right under the video. All right, next one. Good morning. That scared the shit out of me. I'm tripping, or do I need coffee? IDEX. All right, let's talk about IDEX. All right, IDEX closed at 325, sitting at around $3 right now. Same thing. Look, guys, we have that we have that rounding formation kind of happening again, right? Under the moving averages, we really need to get above that 350 area to show some strength, to get above the moving averages. If it doesn't do that, it can really easily roll over. This is the problem we're having with a lot of the names out there in the stocks, right? Because they're heavily influenced by the market. We are seeing that significant pullback that we got in a lot of the stocks, this small slight bounce, and very easily we can really sell off. However, we do need to reclaim that 350 area on IDEX if we're going to push any higher here. What will push tech stocks high? To be honest, I think it's just a matter of, when do opening stocks hit a high that people feel comfortable pulling money out. Right now, money is leaving tech, and it's still going into energy, it's still going into reopening stocks, still going into different sectors, and I don't think the big boys are done doing that. I don't think that there's enough buying pressure happening in these names. Like, for example, when we're looking at a bull market in a certain stock, right? Notice how there's so much buying above average, right? Even if we go look at Neo, look at these big buying pressures, right? We're seeing huge buying pressures taking place, right? This is telling us that there's buyers coming in. On the way down here, we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is increased selling pressure, right? So unless we start seeing some significant buy volumes come in on a lot of these names, I don't think that we're ready to kind of turn it around here. It might take some time. As bad as, I know a lot of people are heavily invested in tech, as am I in my long term. However, in my short term, I've fully rotated out of that. I don't have any tech stocks left, right? So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Tesla to come down, to find some nice support at around the 200 moving average for me to take a longer position on it. However, I don't know. I'm not convinced with this move. I don't think we're fully done selling off in tech. We might not come down, all the way down to the 200 moving averages in a lot of the names, but I do think we try to come down, maybe do a double bottom or a W formation reversal. But I don't think we're done. We still gotta wait it out a little bit. All right, do you see any potential in SNCA? Let's take a look at SNCA. SNCA, not bad. At least it's above the moving averages here. If it can hold that 140 area, right now it's at 187. So we're already sitting up here. Not sure if you're in or not in, or if you're asking about a day trade, but I wouldn't trade this on a day trade. Look at this. It shot up to 267 and it's now sitting at 180. It gave away, what is this? It gave away, God, my chart's tripping out. It gave away 43% of the move, right? So as a day trade, I wouldn't touch it. I'm not sure if that was what you were asking for. It's not a day trading stock right now. How high do you see 2 going? Let's see. Still looking strong. I mean, it might come pull back to that 730 area, but continue higher. How high do I see it going? That's a simple question of support and resistance lines, right? We got to go back and check. Obviously, it's in a place where there's a massive gap fill. So that's not going to help our cause in trying to find support and resistance lines. Let's see, maybe we can go back to nothing, right? It's just a big massive drop that happened during that January, February, fall, and the only thing that's really stopping this from going up is maybe this area right here. So let's see. Maybe that $10 area, which is far off from here. Not to say that it can go there, but it seems to be like a stock that's moving very slowly. So I do expect this to pull back to the 730 area before slowly grinding its way back up. Maybe you'll find some resistance at around the $9 psychological number on that one. Let's see. Market jitters. So a lot of people are waiting for Tesla to be 510. Yeah, I'm waiting for that too. Guys, let's take a look at what SPY is doing while we're sitting here and waiting. Still, you can see that 394.17 area is holding. If we can get back above that 395.25 area, we might see a nice push in it again. But to be honest, I'm not really concerned about what's happening with the SPY. My investments right now are in reopening stocks, are in hotels, or in energy, or in other names that have been showing strength during this pullback. When the market's pulling, my stocks aren't moving. That's because they're holding strong, and that's what you guys need to start focusing on. If you're doing this on a short-term time frame, if you're investing for 1 week, 2 week, if you're swing trading, you really need to be able to rotate and get out of some stocks that are going to be showing weakness. You guys don't want to be sitting around holding, for example, PLTR with all your entire account and expecting it to just continue when there's a market rotation happening, guys. Clove is just AIDS. What do you think of the huge pre-market gainers like TCAT? They typically go down right after market opens. Steve, what do I think of the huge pre-market gainers? It really depends. It's a case-by-case basis. The only thing you can really do is respect your money and have an entry and exit plan, right? Will they fall in the morning? Definitely can, right? There's huge volatility happening. There's people that took the stock long yesterday and they're now up, a few points. So come the morning, there's definitely going to be some profit taking. You might see a pullback to this support or a pullback to the 200 moving average on the intraday time frame. So profit taking can happen, especially on a stock that's gapped up, that's gapping up from 22 now sitting at $29, right? So that's an $8 increase for anyone that took the stock long the day before, and they're definitely going to want to take profits. So you need to take that into consideration. Can you pull Piton chart up, please? Sure. All right. So this is the daily chart on Piton. Again, what do we see here, guys? We see that big pullback, that rounding top happening. In this case, it hasn't even held. It didn't even do what Tesla, Neo, Netflix, Roku, all those other names did. It rolled over and it just came back and touched the 200 moving average. So what's happening here? We touched the 200 moving average with slightly increase in selling volume, right? And what's happening now? The stock is sitting at 105.65, right? 105.65. It's sitting around right here, right where it opened yesterday. So what can happen here? If we lose that $100 area, we can really easily come back down to that 92, right here towards that 92 area. We can really easily come back there. We have some support at 95, 91, and if we lose that, where are we going next? Well, it's pretty much a nice free fall down towards this next area of support, which is 78. Right? We lose that long-term moving average. We've lost the two short-term moving averages. If we lose 95 and 91, we can very easily come back down to that 78 area. Can you give an example of how to find price targets for pre-market tickers? Example, OCG and TCAT. Price targets on names like that, guys, it's just a matter of first of all, support and resistance. So in regards to TCAT, there's no other history on the chart because it's pushed so high up. So all you really got to do is take a look at the minutes, the intraday time frames, right? So yesterday's high was around 24.90, and look what happened when we came up to 24.90. We saw this rejection. So as soon as you're starting seeing a pattern set up, you can really easily pull up a fib, right, from this high to this low, and look what happened. That $30 area is your next area of resistance, and that's exactly where we're seeing some selling pressure, right? So you really have to take what you're working with. Another way that you can kind of see what's going on, we had this massive push right here. So from here to up here, that's around 43% move. I don't like doing it this way because I don't think it's a valid reason. Some people like to say that the depth of here, so this is a 17% move, so whatever the depth is the move that I can get. So that's around 16.6% move. 16.6% move would be right over here. So it means the stock, once it breaks out, it can actually get right up until this $30 area. Again, same thing that the fibs gave us, right? So that's how you can kind of gauge it. Another way that you can gauge it is using psychological whole numbers, right? So again, the depth of this with the depth of this plus your Fibonacci lines all tell you what that $30 is going to be a psychological number. So as soon as we came towards that 29.60, we're seeing some selling pressure. That $30 psychological number is going to be a hard area of resistance to get over. If it does get over that, then you can look at other areas. Another tool that you guys can use for intraday day trading is I've explained this on my TikToks before. You can go to your studies, edit studies, and add pivot points, right? When you add pivot points, look what happens. You get the computer that draws these intraday pivot points for you, right? So right there at 28.89 is one that it drew, and then the next one's at 36. So not to say that if this breaks, it's going straight to 36, but it just gives you an area or a guide for you guys to take a look at. All right, and I've talked about that on my TikTok before. Any thoughts on SNDL? Still a lot of people asking about SNDL, guys. If you're in SNDL, you just gotta hold it long term. There's nothing to worry about in this shorter time frame. FRX long term. I don't like answering these questions in regards to long term or not. You guys need to research the company and understand what the financials look like, and what the company is doing for you to invest long term. Looking at the chart, I don't know, it's coming to support at around $10. Fairly new chart, it seems like. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it's a fairly new chart. So the only thing you got going here chart wise is you got support at around $10. BA, um, it's an airline, right? So you're gonna have to have patience with that. They will eventually start moving. What's your opinion on, is that Rolls Royce, RYCEY? I have no opinion on Rolls Royce. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's bottoming here, right? So you have this rounding bottom. You got rid of this, prior high right here. It's breaking out on volume. It can definitely come back up to this, 250 area. So it's not bad, not a bad chart. If you're in, you can try to hold it maybe towards that $2 psychological number and then the 250. What's your opinion on it? Okay, just talked about that. Oh wow, that's awesome. Thank you. Thanks. Sorry, I had to leave my office for a minute. I was looking at a day trade on SNCA. I don't even remember if I talked about SNCA. Did I talk about SNCA? I'm losing my mind. SNCA, yeah, there's no day trade on SNCA. I remember that one. There's no day trade on SNCA. It gave back 50% of its moves. Those chimes are loud. Of course they're loud, man. I gotta hear them. They're there for a reason. I gotta see what's popping up. Brother, what chart are you using? This is not a website, Franco. This is a charting platform that I use to look for my stocks or do my charting. It is called TD Think or Swim. It's available to Americans and Canadians. Discovery. Guys, Discovery, this stock is the most frustrating stock ever. Every time I look at it, it's just going up and 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 up. It has not given me a single entry, and it's just driving me nuts because I've been watching this thing go up and up and up since 40. Every night that I scan, this damn stock comes on my list, and every night it's just higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and I've made $0 on the way up. So I don't even want to talk about this. It's just extended. It needs to come back. It just needs to pull back so we can get a damn entry on this thing. I don't even know why the Discovery Channel is working, but I guess it's communications. It's a reopening stock. Whatever, man. I'm really frustrated with Discover, as you can tell in my tone of voice. CCIV, I told you guys the other day, I made a video about this on TikTok. Once it comes up to this area, don't be convinced that this is going to go to $40, $50. There's bag holders here, heavy bag holders here. Every time we pop up, we're going to sell right back down. So it's right now, it's pinched between resistance and moving averages. It needs to consolidate here before making another leg up, maybe 36. If it fails to get buyers here during that consolidation, it can roll back over to 20. If you guys are in CCIV, it's got to be a long-term hold. Stop looking at it every day. Good morning. I've talked about TCAT already. Franco buying the VIP soon. Awesome. All right, guys, so we got 2 minutes left before I sign off here. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you smash that like button. If you guys do have questions in regards to a certain sticker, go ahead and shoot it out for me right now before we close the session off. IPOE before and after merger. So IPOE is just, same thing, right? We have that pullback, that jump from that pull, but then take a look at this decreased volume happening here, right? We're moving up on decreased volume. It's a little bit of a concerning thing here. Closed at 1950, it's currently sitting at 1875. Again, the area of concern here is if we reject these short-term moving averages, we can really easily roll over. All right. Franco, do it. He's amazing. Thank you, Terry. You are awesome. Father was better yesterday during the day. Just waiting to see how he's doing today. Hopefully, a lot better, and he just continues to get better. BNGO, still got a few seconds here, so we'll go over BNGO, guys. Again, same thing. We have that pullback, that bounce, and fail to hold, right? So on BNGO here, we really need to reclaim that $10 in order to make an attempt down to that 1150, right? We have that bounce, and we're kind of rolling over here. We're trying to we're doing our best to jump back up. However, we're struggling here. We need to get back above that $10 area to have this chart to start looking a little bit bullish here, okay? ER is coming up on March 23rd on this one, so make sure you're aware of that. Thank you. Hit the like button. Doesn't hurt. Definitely, guys. Definitely. KCH, which is I think Heinz ketchup. Looks good, man. I've charted this before. 392 area. If we can reclaim above that, seems to be a stock that's showing strength during this tech pullback. If it can get back above that 39.20 area, it could very well head towards that $44-$45 area. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly chart here. Again, another stock that's sold off here. Your next area of resistance essentially is all the way up here, but you're not going to get a clear move all the way up here. So I think you'll see some resistance at around the $45 area on KHC. All right, guys. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I got to get back to the room and help everybody else out there and see what's going to happen for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, every Thursday I will be live on YouTube for you guys. Go ahead and smash that like button. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, and have yourself a safe trading day. Respect your stops.